Hey all, welcome to ShareTrek. This is Raj here. Friends, today's video is going to be on Alzheimer's. And I'm making this video because Eli Lilly has come up with a new drug and that has got promising results for Alzheimer's. It arrests the development and progression of the disease. So in this video, I'm going to describe what mutation causes or what gene malfunction causes Alzheimer's, how it progresses, and also then I will talk about the new therapy from Eli Lilly. So let's get started. Welcome back, friends. First, I would like to talk about what is called as the MAPT gene, also known as multitubule associated protein tau gene, TAU, tau gene. It provides instructions for making the tau protein, which is primarily found in neurons in the central nervous system. This tau protein plays an important role in stabilizing the structure of neurons and facilitating the transport of nutrients and other essential substances within the neurons. The MAPT gene is located on chromosome number 17, and the mutations in this gene have been associated with a variety of neurodegenerative disorders, including Alzheimer's disease, frontotemporal dementia, and progressive supranuclear palsy. So anything that damages neurons is going to be affected by this particular gene. Mutations in the MAPT gene can lead to the abnormal accumulation of tau protein in the brain, which can cause the formation of tau tangles and the death of neurons. There are several different types of MAPT mutations, and they can result in a range of clinical presentations depending on the location and severity of the mutations. Some mutations in the MAPT gene are inherited in an autosomal dominant pattern, which means that a person only needs to inherit one copy of the mutated gene from either parents to develop the disease. Other mutations may occur spontaneously and are not inherited from a parent. So basically, if I was to describe my understanding of how things work in the human body, I think the protein is the currency of the human body, and the protein, different proteins do different things. The genes are the template based on which mRNA is created, and mRNA is the recipe for the protein that the gene denotes. And mRNA is then read by the tRNA and the rRNA, and then it's created into the protein. The recipe is translated into actual protein. Now, if the gene is defective, then the mRNA is going to have a faulty recipe, as a result of which, when it is processed by the rRNA, it's going to produce a faulty protein. The faulty protein can have faults in different ways, and different types of fault cause different kinds of problems. So in this particular case, the fault causes a defective tau protein, and the defects in the tau protein may be different, and they cause different problems depending on the severity of the mutation. So overall, the role of the MAPT gene and its relationship to tau protein abnormalities is an active area of research, and ongoing research aims to better understand the underlying mechanisms of these diseases and develop new treatments. So why are we talking about the MAPT gene? This is because Alzheimer's is caused by abnormally formed tau protein produced by the MAPT gene. Of course, there are other factors that may contribute to Alzheimer's. Other factors that may contribute to tau protein abnormalities include inflammation, oxidative stress, and damages from free radicals, which can result from exposure to toxins or other environmental factors. Additionally, it has been suggested that the abnormal accumulation of beta amyloid protein, another hallmark of Alzheimer's disease, may trigger changes in the tau protein and contribute to the development of tau tangles in the brain. So at this stage, I would like to point out another concept that I have kind of picked up. I don't know whether it's a proper way to think of it, but if there are problematic proteins in the body, then we could always have antibodies which can latch onto it and kind of neutralize it. I still have to do a little more study to find out if that's a valid way of looking at it. That'll be information somewhere. But given the fact that we have the ability to create monoclonal antibodies and the fact that we have the ability to do CRISPR-related editing, I think that it should be possible to handle most of the defective protein-related diseases using monoclonal antibodies. But then I think the scientists are already working on it. But at this point of time, the solution that Eli Lilly has come up with is also a monoclonal antibody. So that said, let us proceed further. Alzheimer's disease is a progressive neurodegenerative disorder that primarily affects memory and other cognitive functions. It's the most common cause of dementia, a condition that affects millions of people worldwide. The exact mechanism of the disease is not fully understood, but it's believed to involve a combination of genetic, environmental, and lifestyle factors. One of the hallmarks of Alzheimer's disease is the accumulation of beta amyloid protein in the brain, which forms plaques that disrupt neuronal communications and cause inflammation. Another hallmark is the accumulation of tau protein in the brain, which forms tangles that disrupt the transport of nutrients and other essential substances within the neurons, thus starving them. The damage caused by these problems leads to the death of neurons in the key areas of the brain, particularly the hippocampus and the cerebral cortex. As a result, individuals with Alzheimer's disease experience a gradual decline in cognitive functions, including memory loss, difficulty with language, disorientation, poor judgment, and changes in personality and behavior. There is no known cure for Alzheimer's at this point of time, and treatments are currently limited to managing symptoms. The causes of the disease are not fully understood, but several risk factors have been identified. These include age, family history, genetics, head injury, and lifestyle factors such as smoking, high blood pressure, and poor diet. If you look at this chart, it shows all the types of mutations of MAPT gene. It's important to note that not all MAPT mutations are associated with neurodegenerative disorders, and the clinical presentation of these disorders can vary widely depending on the type and location of the mutation. Additionally, other factors such as environmental and lifestyle factors can also contribute to the development and progression of these diseases. So as you can see, I have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different types of mutations, and the result is shown on the right side. So I'm not going to read through this whole thing. You can always pause the video and have a look at it, because that's not germane to our conversation today. We are going to talk about the Eli Lilly therapy. The life expectancy of individuals with Alzheimer's disease varies depending on the severity of the disease and other factors such as overall health and age. On average, people with Alzheimer's disease live between 3 and 9 years after diagnosis, although some may live for as long as 20 years. We now have some good news in this area. Eli Lilly announced today positive results of their Trailblazer-ALZ2 phase 3 study showing the Donanemab significantly slowed cognitive and functional decline in people with early symptomatic Alzheimer's disease. Donanemab is the name of the medicine that they have come up with. Donanemab met the primary endpoint of change from baseline until 18 months on the Integrated Alzheimer's Disease Rating Scale. The primary endpoint of IADRS, or Integrated Alzheimer's Disease Rating Scale, is to measure cognition and activities of daily living, such as managing finances, driving, engaging in hobbies, and conversing about current events. All secondary endpoints of the cognitive and functional decline were also met and showed highly satisfactory significant clinical benefits with similar magnitude based on these results. Lilly will proceed with global regulatory submissions as quickly as possible and anticipates making a submission to the US FDA within this quarter. Lilly will work with the FDA and other global regulators to achieve the fastest path to traditional approvals. Now let me discuss the mechanism of Donanemab, which is N3pG antibody, also known by its brand name as Donanemab. It's a monoclonal antibody that targets the beta amyloid protein, which is one of the hallmarks of Alzheimer's disease. Donanemab is designed to bind specifically to a toxic form of beta amyloid called N3pG beta amyloid, which is believed to be particularly damaging to brain cells. Donanemab works by targeting and removing N3pG beta amyloid plaques from the brain, which can improve cognitive function and slow the progression of Alzheimer's disease. In clinical trials, treatment with donanemab have shown to reduce levels of N3pG beta amyloids in the brain and improve cognitive function in patients with early stage Alzheimer's disease. One of the unique features of donanemab is its ability to bind specifically to N3pG beta amyloid without affecting other forms of beta amyloid, which may reduce the risk of side effects associated with other beta amyloid targeting therapies. Donanemab is still in clinical trials, and its long-term safety and effectiveness are still being evaluated. However, early results suggest that donanemab may be a promising new treatment option for Alzheimer's disease. To highlight the significance of the news that we have today, I would like to take you to their press release and read the test results, and you can understand how important this is. So here we are looking at the press release from Eli Lilly. And it says Lilly's donanemab significantly slowed cognition and functional decline in phase 3 study of early Alzheimer's disease. Nearly half, that is 47% of the participants on donanemab compared to 29% on placebo. The difference between 47 and 29 is very significant. They had no clinical progression at 1 year, defined as no decline in CDR-SB. Phase 3 trial met primary endpoints and all secondary endpoints measuring cognitive and functional decline. Donanemab treatment showed clinical decline by 35% compared to placebo and resulted in 40% less decline on the ability to perform activities of daily living. So 40% is a big number, and overall half of all participants completed their course of treatment by 12 months. So for us to get results on these kind of tests, it's going to take time because some of these diseases manifest themselves over a period of time, and you'll have to watch the control group, and you'll have to watch the group which is not on any medications, and try to find out what is the correlation, and then determine whether there is any benefit. So this research is going to take some time, but if you look at the top line numbers, 47% of participants on donanemab showed no decline on CDR-SB, a key measure of disease severity, at 1 year compared to 29% of participants on placebo. So this is for the first year. 52% of the participants completed their course of treatment by 1 year, and 72% completed by 18 months as a result of achieving plaque clearance. Participants on donanemab had 40% less decline in ability to perform activities of daily living at 18 months as measured by Alzheimer's disease cooperative study, instrumental activities of daily living inventory. Participants on donanemab experienced a 39% lower risk of progressing to the next stage of the disease compared to the placebo group. So 39% again is big. And friends, the market welcomed this news with very strong performance. Just going to quickly take you to the TradingView platform to show the great reception the market gave to Lilly today. Here we are in the TradingView platform and looking at the chart for Eli Lilly. Each candle is a one-day candle. And you can see that after the double bottom out here, it has far overshot its target. And today's performance was stupendous. Look at the volume out here. And the volume was very high. And also the share has jumped, I think 6.68%. That's around $26 on a base of 431.19. That's very excellent performance. And now again, you can see that RSI has been overbought and MACD is super bullish. There will be a bit of consolidation, but the market has voted very strongly. This is a major achievement for Lilly, and it's also a major ray of hope for people who are suffering from Alzheimer's. So that brings me to an end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch up with you again with the next video. Thanks and have a great day. Bye for now.